In this video, I would like to show you the differences between the aluminum version and the carbon version of the Manfrotto Nanopole. But before we get started, feel free to follow us on our Instagram account for more reels, behind the scenes and quick tutorials that we don't show here on YouTube. We already made an in-depth video about the aluminum version or the more affordable version, and if you haven't watched this video yet, feel free to check it out right here. Because of this video, Manfrotto reached out to us and they asked if you're interested in using the carbon version on our journey traveling around the world and recording sounds. But they did not tell us or ask us specifically to make a video about it, nor is this a sponsored video. However, here on our YouTube channel, we love creating videos about the equipment that we're using, and if I think it can be beneficial for me, then it could be useful for you as well. Back in Iceland, that's when I bought the more affordable version for $80, and I loved it from the start. And I was just so tired of carrying around heavy and clunky tripods. If I lose one of these plates, the quick release plates, then I either have to buy another tripod or I have to find a plate that fits. So it was just a disaster, but having the Cinela with this Nanopole was almost the perfect combination. For me, it's all about traveling light and setting up my equipment fast and uncomplicated. With the Rycord Boom Pole quick release, I found another piece of equipment that not only enables me to being fast, but I also know I can protect the thread on top of the Nanopole. If you haven't watched our video about the Rycord quick release, feel free to watch it right here. During our time in Malta, that's when Manfrotto sent us the carbon version, and until then I never really run into trouble with the aluminum version. But also keep in mind that these nanopoles aren't made for field recording, they are light stands. But I do want to show you two of the differences if it comes to the aluminum base. What I mean, just when you turn this around and you extend the aluminum base and you just move a little bit around, you don't really hear anything with the carbon version. So that's really good. Now with the aluminum version, it's a little different. There's more noise. But maybe it's just mine. So I'm interested if you have this, but your aluminum version sounds just like the one here at the carbon version, please let me know, because then I know, it's just mine. But for future nanopoles made for field recording, it would be kind of interesting to see a version where we don't even run into this problem. So there's another thing, if you close it, and then it's talking about space, right? So this is on both sides. Now when we close the Nanopole, then you see this is perfectly in one line, but not this one. This stops right here. So what I would have done is probably have this longer, and then I just space out so that this can fit perfectly together, so that we don't have this waste of space. One of the big differences is the price, and as I mentioned before, I paid $80 for the aluminum version, and then I looked at the price for the carbon version and it is about $160, what sounds a lot. But if you're a professional field recordist and you're out there every single day and you care about weight, the difference is around 250 grams. So if you care about weight, you maybe want to look into the carbon version. Let's talk about one of my favorite features, and that's something that I would always prefer, and that's when it comes to quick release. Look at these quick release knobs. You can just tuck, 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 and back. Super quick, super easy. It looks clean, it looks really nice. And this is something that I really prefer over the standard knobs that, you have this, then you have to go out. That takes time. You have to open this. But what happens if you lose one? That's it. Then you have to find spare parts. So it is always a little bit different, but it's not only getting in and out and having the scarcity of losing them, it's also the space in the bag. Because I want to show you this. If I close that, then you have all this space here full with knobs. Now if I close the carbon version, then it just looks way cleaner. I really like to mention one thing that I love about the aluminum version, and that's about the pole and that I can screw it independently. So what I mean by that is, and that's all before I had the Rycote boom pole quick release connector. So what I did is I used one of my microphones, and then I have the bar, and then I place it right here. Right here, and then I screw it. But you see how long it already took. And that's why the quick release works so well with the carbon version. So now we have this screwed in. Here, I can't do this because of the release, the quick release knobs. This is locked. So in order to do that, I would either take out this part and then I can screw it, or I just have the quick release and then I plug this in here. What is a perfect setup? Both nanopoles have the same load capacity of 1.5 kilo, and that's perfect for the Cinela Albert setup that I'm using. But also keep in mind that the higher you extend your nanopole, the more vulnerable you are against wind. And I noticed this, if it's a little bit too windy, the Cinela starts to swing left and right. So how can I avoid this? I just don't go higher than that. So this is how I record most of the time, because I just have the most stabilization in this area. One of the great features of the nanopole is if you take it out of the aluminum base, and that's when you really feel the difference having carbon, because it is just so light. But not only this, because what I do is I use this part to record my footsteps, or what I do is I extend it. I recorded my footsteps in the lobby in Malta in our apartment complex, because very spooky, and that's all what I did. I extended the nanopole, I taped the cable around, and that's how I recorded my footsteps, and it was great. In conclusion, you really have to decide for yourself if you want to invest $80 more for the carbon version. On B&H, I read that they give you a 5-year warranty, so I haven't seen this on the aluminum version. Maybe this is a deciding factor for you, but I can also tell you from my own experience as being a cyclist, if you ever switch from aluminum to carbon, you will never ever go back, except it's winter and you don't want to ruin your carbon bike. So I really hope you find this video helpful. Give us a like, because that really helps the channel grow. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I can't wait to see you in our next video.